Lewis Hamilton should never have finished fourth in Belgium. His Ferrari was damaged, the front end would not respond, and a 5-second penalty pushed the podium further away with every lap. Then the pit stop that was supposed to rescue him failed, leaving the crucial front wing adjustment unfinished. But Hamilton refused to let the race collapse. He changed the way he drove, protected the tires, and passed Oscar Piastri with only 4 laps remaining. 1 broken balance, 1 missed repair, 1 position from the podium. And the real reason Hamilton still recovered exposes both his brilliance and Ferrari's most dangerous weakness. Subscribe to the channel. Before Hamilton could rescue 4th place, Ferrari had to survive a weekend that kept changing its character. Friday began with real promise. Hamilton was immediately close to the front. In the opening practice session, he finished only a small margin behind Max Verstappen. Later, he moved to the top of the timing screens ahead of Charles Leclerc. For a moment, the SF26 looked ready to fight. The speed was there. The confidence was growing. And after Ferrari's recent victory at Silverstone, Belgium appeared to offer another opportunity. But Hamilton noticed a weakness hidden beneath the lap times. The Ferrari was running out of electrical energy too early on Spa's long straights. That matters because the engine is only one part of the car's power. The electrical system provides extra acceleration, helping the driver continue gaining speed before reaching the braking zone. Hamilton could feel that assistance fading too soon. Imagine beginning a sprint with someone beside you. You accelerate together. You remain level for most of the distance. Then, just before the finish, your strength disappears while the other person keeps moving forward. That was the problem Ferrari faced against Mercedes and McLaren. The SF26 could begin the straight competitively. It could not always finish it with the same force. At Spa, that weakness becomes especially costly. The circuit contains long acceleration zones where every missing piece of power is exposed. A driver can produce a strong exit from the previous corner and still watch another car pull away before the braking point. That affects overtaking. It affects defending. And it creates pressure long before the driver reaches the straight. Hamilton knew he needed to recover time somewhere else. But Ferrari's second major weakness made that difficult. The middle sector was already one of the team's weakest areas. This section demands a car that changes direction quickly, remains balanced, and gives the driver confidence through demanding corners. Hamilton believed the general balance felt reasonably good, but the stopwatch showed Ferrari was still losing time. That contradiction was dangerous. A car can feel stable without being fast enough. And when the driver feels comfortable but the lap time is still missing, the solution becomes harder to identify. There may not be one obvious problem. Instead, the time disappears in small pieces. A slight hesitation when the front tires begin to turn. A little less speed through the center of the corner. A weaker exit. Then the energy fades on the following straight. Each loss seems manageable. Together they shape the entire race. This was the first warning that Hamilton's Belgian weekend would require more than raw speed. The SF26 could produce an impressive lap, but it did not give him a wide margin for error. Everything needed to align. The tires, the setup, the electrical energy, the track conditions, and the driver's confidence. Leclerc's Friday showed how fragile that performance could be. He had been near the front during the opening session. Then he dropped to 11th later in the day. The same Ferrari that looked competitive in one moment became much harder to understand in another. That change suggested the car was operating inside a narrow window. When everything worked together, it could look dangerous. When one detail moved in the wrong direction, the pace could disappear. Think of balancing a glass close to the edge of a table. For a while it looks completely secure. Then one small movement changes everything. Ferrari's speed carried that same risk. Hamilton could lead a practice session. Leclerc could struggle only hours later. Both results came from the same car. That meant Ferrari was not only searching for more speed, it was searching for consistency. And consistency would matter much more on Sunday than one fast Friday lap. A qualifying lap is a short attack. The tires can be prepared for maximum grip. The energy can be used aggressively. The fuel load is low. The driver only needs the car to remain inside its best window for a brief moment. A race is different. The fuel load changes. The tires wear. The balance moves. Cars run close together. And the same weakness returns on every lap. Hamilton understood that Ferrari's Friday speed did not guarantee a strong Grand Prix. The team still needed answers. Why was the electrical energy fading? Why was the middle sector still costing time? Could Ferrari improve one area without damaging another? Those questions mattered because every setup change involved a compromise. More grip through the corners could create more resistance on the straights. Less resistance could improve top speed, but make the car harder to control through the technical section. Using more electrical power early could strengthen acceleration, but leave less available near the end. Ferrari was not searching for a perfect setup. It was deciding where the weakness would hurt least. That placed more responsibility on Hamilton. He could not simply push the accelerator harder and expect the car to solve the problem. He needed to understand where the SF26 could attack and where it needed protection. Then Saturday made the situation more difficult. Hamilton crashed at Faines during the final practice session. The impact came at the same section where Pierre Gasly had also hit the barrier the previous day. The source does not confirm one exact cause for Hamilton's accident, but the consequence was clear. Ferrari had to repair the car before qualifying. That changed the entire plan. Instead of using every remaining moment to improve the setup, the mechanics had to rebuild the damaged Ferrari. Instead of focusing only on missing performance, Hamilton had to restore his trust in the car. And at Spa, trust is essential. A driver must commit before the corner is complete. There is no time to hesitate through the fastest sections. It only needed to reduce the damage enough for him to fight more freely. That opportunity existed. The mechanic was in position. The tool was on the front wing. The change had begun. Then the release light turned green. The car left. The work stopped. And Hamilton carried the broken balance back onto the circuit. That is why the pit stop cannot be separated from the final result. The frightening contact with the mechanic was the human side of the failure. The unfinished adjustment was the competitive side. Both came from the same mistimed signal. Ferrari released the car before the stop was truly complete. Hamilton then spent the rest of the race solving a problem the team had intended to reduce. He changed his driving. He protected the tires. He found a way past Piastri. And he rescued fourth. But the team should not mistake that recovery for proof that the situation was acceptable. A driver compensating for a problem does not mean the problem is small. Sometimes it means the driver is hiding how serious it really is. Hamilton's experience allowed the Ferrari to remain competitive. That does not remove the weakness in the front wing. It does not remove the energy deficit. It does not remove the failed pit procedure. It simply means he found a way to work around all of them. And Ferrari cannot build a championship campaign around constant rescue missions. A team fighting for the biggest prizes needs margin. A car strong enough to survive damage. A strategy strong enough to recover from a penalty. A pit crew process strong enough to complete the work safely. Belgium exposed how little margin Ferrari had. One collision changed the handling. One penalty complicated the strategy. One release error prevented the correction. Then the driver had to carry everything. Leclerc's second place made that contrast even sharper. The same team placed one car on the podium. That showed Ferrari had enough underlying performance for a major result. Hamilton's fourth place showed what happened when that performance was buried under damage and mistakes. Leclerc could manage the normal limitations of the SF26. Hamilton had to manage those limitations, plus a broken front balance. That is the difference. One driver was extracting pace from an imperfect car. The other was preventing a damaged car from falling apart. And still, the final gap between them was only 2 positions. That should encourage Ferrari. It should also alarm them. The encouraging part is Hamilton's recovery. He remained calm. He adapted. He kept the front tires alive. He found enough pace to attack late in the race. The alarming part is how much of that recovery depended on him. Ferrari did not solve the problem. Hamilton carried it. And that creates a dangerous illusion. A strong result can make a team believe the damage was controlled. But fourth place did not mean the process worked. It meant the driver prevented the process from failing more visibly. The mechanic was safe. The car continued. Hamilton recovered. Those outcomes reduced the immediate consequences. They did not remove the cause. Ferrari still released the car too early. The front wing adjustment still remained unfinished. The balance still stayed broken. And Hamilton still lost the chance to attack the final part of the race with a more stable car. That is the piece Ferrari must examine. Because the next time a similar problem appears, the driver may not have enough tire life to compensate. There may not be another damaged car ahead. There may not be 4 laps remaining. The opportunity may not return. Belgium gave Ferrari a warning wrapped inside a respectable result. Hamilton's fourth place looked safe. The race behind it was anything but safe. He had to control a car that would not turn. He had to manage a front end that punished aggression. He had to recover after a penalty. He had to trust a team system that had just released him before the work was complete. And he had to do all of that while remaining fast enough to overtake near the finish. That is why the real story is not that Hamilton failed to reach the podium. The real story is that he got so close. The car gave him reasons to fall backward. He found reasons to move forward. The damage asked him to surrender speed. He changed how he created it. The failed adjustment left the balance broken. He rebuilt the lap around the weakness. And when Piastri appeared ahead, Hamilton did not see a damaged race. He saw one remaining opportunity. He took it. Fourth place was the result. The recovery was the achievement. But Ferrari's final lesson is much more serious. Hamilton proved he can carry a broken balance. The team must prove it can stop breaking the race around him. Because in Belgium, one more failure did not send Hamilton out of the points. It left him one position from the podium. Next time that same chain could cost far more.